Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrappy and Kane. Today I'm sharing a double 8.5 by 11 layout. I have 3 photos of my son in a cool monster shirt that he was willing to take photos in for me. This was probably one of the last fun photo shoots that we did that he allowed me to take. I believe he is 10 and a half, 11. And after that, I was like, nope, no more pictures, mom. But anyways, this is acrylic stash busting. Also, I have a few acrylic pieces from Pear Tree Cut Files. I have friends playing along with me. I believe everybody has a video up today, including a new friend, Melissa, and I will have links down below for all of the videos. I'm using 49 and Market Spectrum Gardenia. I have not cut into this collection yet, and I have a lot of it that I need to use. I bought a lot of Spectrum Gardenia because I love all of the colors. It's so colorful and fun. And Spectrum Sherbert was so much fun to play with that I knew I had to have this collection too. I bought it when it first came out and I have not cut into it as of yet. So today's going to be the first time I'm going to cut into it, and I'm going to do a lot of mixed media and tone on tone embellishments. So I hope you guys will enjoy the video and come along and see what I create as I'm showing all the papers that I have an idea for. I'm not showing everything I have, but I do show quite a bit of what I have. These 2 papers here are part of it also, and they are the gray scale. So they almost look white, but they really are gray in real life. And they match his shirt perfectly in the photo. And then all the color on his shirt, and then I'm going to add color in the background. So I thought that turned out pretty cute. So here I'm going to get started on the mixed media part of the layout. I did pull out 3 colors of each. So I have 3 oranges, 3 greens, 3 purples, and then I have Distress Oxide in orange, green, and purple also. So this is something I don't do a lot, but I definitely love the look of it, and I like playing with it. My issue is it takes a while to dry, and I like to get the layouts done. But I am trying to use up the mixed media products that I have bought over the years, and every once in a while I just want to play. So that's what I'm doing here. I did speed it up because I'm going to repeat the process 3 times. So if you didn't catch it the first time, the second or the third time, you might catch it. I did drop a little bit of orange over here. Didn't mean to. So I just added acrylic paint, white acrylic paint over it, and it's okay. And nobody would probably even know except for I pointed it out in the video. So here I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just using a piece of plastic and I'm just putting the color down directly on the paper. I did not gesso this paper. Since it's 49 and Market, it's fairly thick and it actually holds up very well for the mixed media part of it. I didn't add a whole lot of water. I did add the Shimmers paints, but I'm not adding a lot of extra water. So it doesn't warp the paper that much. It does warp a little bit. And here it just looks like a hot mess. This is one part of mixed media. I'm like, oh my God, this looks awful. But in the end, I really like the way that it turned out. It's probably not the best. Like, I definitely probably could have did better. But like I said, I don't play with it very often. So sometimes it just takes a little bit of playing with it and, make it your own. Have fun. So that's what I did. So here I'm just putting my little paints away so they don't get spilled or anything. I'm done with them. This is white acrylic paint and it is, I added water to it and I just added it right on top of the mixed media. Sorry, I didn't slow that part down so you can see it a little bit better. I had to clean off my desk. I'm going to bring in a couple of stencils and I will choose which one I want to use here in just a minute. Sorry, probably should have cut this part out. Looks like I walked away to go grab a couple of things. Oh, stamps. And I did grab a different stencil. At first it was the chicken wire, but I decided to use these little X's instead. And that is, I'm not sure where that one actually is from, but it's like little stitch marks in it. And I'm just going to put the Distress Oxide right through it in each of the colors over the mixed media. So I'm just doing it kind of random. I'm not doing it in every spot, and I'm not doing the entire sheet. I'm only doing a small little section and just going around the layout in each color. And then the stamps over there, I'm going to pull off a couple of the stamps, and I'm going to stamp also with the Distress Oxide. And again, I was going to do the chicken wire. I changed my mind, and this one actually looks like a torn piece of paper with a paper edge on it. But when it stamps, it really doesn't stamp. I guess it does stamp like that. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I didn't really do it to be really dominant on the layout. So most of it's going to get covered up. I think a few of them actually show at the end, but for the most part, it's going to get covered up, and I'm fine with it. I did pull out another set of stamps, and this one here looks like almost like fabric, and I'm just going to stamp it up and down on the layout. I did spread it apart because it wasn't long enough to reach from 11 inches. It's only like an 8-inch stamp, so I did have to space it out, this one too. And it's okay because in the center, the photo is going to go in the center of the orange, the green, and the purple. So that was my idea. I had already kind of played with the photos and the embellishments that I wanted to use. So I knew a general idea of how big of a mixed media area to add. And a lot of the mixed media does end up showing in the end. So here I took another little like circle stamp, and I just stamped a couple of circles around in the same color, so it's tone on tone, and it does show up in real life. I know on video it kind of looks like it blends in completely almost, but I can definitely see it, especially the green one. I wish I had a little bit of a darker purple and orange to use, but um, I didn't, so I just made it work. So there I'm holding it up so you get an idea of what it looks like. I did splatter black acrylic paint, and that was just to make the black pop. I'm going to add black embellishments, so I do want the little black details in the back to pop up. So here I'm going to bring in the photos, and I matted the photos in blue instead of matting them in orange, green, and purple, because I want them to look like a series of photos and to go together. And he has blue on his shirt, and since I wasn't adding blue anywhere else on the layout, just on the photos, it really takes your eye from all of the details in the background, and it takes your eye back to the photos, which is always my main point, is I want you to look at my photos. So that's what I did there. These little frames here were from the ephemera pack, and I did cut them in half so that I could stretch them across the photo, because the photo mat is a little bit bigger than the frame. If I wouldn't have cut it, you wouldn't have saw a lot of the black stripe part, and I definitely wanted that to show. So I'm going to add that to two of the photos, the left and the right, and then the middle one is not going to get one of those frames. And it's going to be okay because there's not a whole lot of room in the middle. As you can see, if I would have added another frame, I think it would have been too much. So I was okay with only having two of those frames to use. So here's kind of sort of how the photos are going to go. And these rub-ons were different than the ones that I showed in the intro. These are also Spectrum Gardenia, but these are all the leaves. And they do come in every color that is in this collection. So there's 6 colors, and I'm going to pull out the orange, the green, and the purple. And I'm going to rub those on tone on top of the mixed media area, but I want them to be partly on the white part of the paper that's still showing also. so that they'll stand out a little bit more. And a few of them do blend in a whole lot, so like you don't see them really unless you're looking for them, and that's okay. But for the most part, most of them you can see. And the reason I went with these rub-ons versus the ones in the ephemera pack had a green and a purple leaf, but it didn't have an orange leaf. So I was kind of disappointed with that. It did have a blue one, but I didn't think the blue in an ephemera piece was going to work for my idea because I wanted all the ephemera pieces to either be black, orange, green, or purple. And the only part I want to be blue is the photo mats. So in the end, I like the end result of it. So here I'm just adding them around. Like I said, I'm going to do it 3 times. So I did kind of speed this part up. But I wanted you to still be able to see what I'm actually doing. I cut them apart so that I can rub them wherever I want them to go. And I also don't want to waste any behind the photos. So if I know it's going to tuck very far behind the photo, I'm cutting that part of the rub-on off and rubbing it somewhere where it will be seen because pay good money for all these embellishments and rub-ons, and I don't really want them just to be hiding behind the photos. Even though in the end, I guess some of them do get covered up because I am going to add embellishments on top of this after I add the rub-ons, but it's okay. Most of them are visible or even look like they're peeking out from behind the embellishments. So it's okay. So here I'm just making sure I haven't glued down the photos because I'm, rubbing on all the rub-ons and I want to get those in place first before I put the photos down permanently. And this is going to take quite a while because I have to cut each one and then decide where I'm going to rub it on. And I'm going to leave a few for the very end. I'll come back and rub them on after I have all the embellishments in place. So this was definitely a process of a layout to do. It took some time, but I did it like during time off from work or when I get home after work. So definitely, I don't know. I don't always sit down and just do it in one like sitting, so I can't tell you exactly how long it actually took, but it definitely was done over a few days. And the putting together part took about an hour, but like everything of getting all the other little details, all the embellishments, which ones I wanted to use, and all that was done on a different day. So, but all this part here, like adding all these little embellishments, the mixed media was done the day before. And then I came and added all the embellishments and the photos down at one time. And like I said, that was probably about an hour. And the mixed media part was about another 40 minutes or so. So, you know, I guess if you take all of that, probably give or take 2.5 hours, 3 hours, definitely quite a bit of time. But I love the end result. Like I said, I love any layout that I create like this, and I do tone on tone. And it's in a large scale like this one. This one's 3 areas of tone on tone. And I just think it works perfectly with his shirt. And his shirt really doesn't have, it has a little bit of purple, but not a whole lot of purple. But I had the little purple monster, the green one, and then the orange one from Pear Tree Cut Files. And I'm also going to bring in acrylic stars from her that are tiny, and I'm going to add those around the layout too. And they were perfect for this shirt because this is just, like I said, a cute little monster shirt. He has little glasses on his face. And if you lift him up, you could see his eyes underneath. That's what he's doing in the last photo. And I was just making him laugh. So that's how I get the best photos of him, is if I make him laugh, then I get to see his beautiful smile. And he doesn't always show that off unless, I sneakily get it from him, and that's by making him laugh. So here I'm just adding all these little like tickets and stamps and hearts, and I'm just going to stack them up. there's little pieces of torn paper. They were all either laser cuts or from the embellishment pack. The orange ticket, I actually used Distress Oxide on top of it to turn it orange because it was white. They didn't have an orange tag, so again, I was trying to get each one in each color, and orange again was missing. But luckily, there was a white one in there, so I was able to color it and turn it orange. I was able to make that one work. And then at the top of each of the photos, I put a little tab that says moments filled with joy on the orange one. And then the green one, which part of it is kind of covered up, even in real life, it says this is happy. And then the purple one says photographs plus memories. And I just think that's kind of cute and fitting. And they're small words, so I don't really think they take anything away. They just add a little extra detail. This one here, since I had to slice it in half, I was kind of fighting with it to get it tucked in the right place behind the photo. The photo is now attached down. So I went ahead and cut that center photo right in half, and I'm okay with it. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I wouldn't cut my photo in half," but I'm okay. It's fine. These are digital photos for one, and for two, there's three photos that are almost exactly the same on the layout. And I didn't cut through his face or any kind of detail of it. I just sliced the photo right in half, and it's okay. So here's the title. This says the story of today, and it's going to be favorite shirt is going to be the main title. And then I will add strip journaling over on the left hand side and tell the story of the shirt, how it was his favorite shirt. He had picked it out and unfortunately didn't get to wear it for very long because he outgrew it. But it definitely was a fun shirt to wear and was bright and colorful. And when he was wearing it this day, I had taken my great nephew to go take pictures. And I was like, after we got done taking his pictures, I was like, let's go take a picture with your shirt. And he's like, Mom, really? And I was like, yeah, I love that shirt. Let's go take a picture of it. And he's like, I wear it all the time. And I'm like, I know, but I don't have any pictures of you in it. So we went and he let me take some pictures of him. I also took pictures of him in his dinosaur hoodie at the same time, and that was kind of how I got him to let me take pictures of his shirt also. But bribery will get you anywhere. I also had to buy him lunch that day, but it's okay. Anything to get the photos. So here I'm just adding those extra rub-on leaves that I had over to the side along with the stitches. Any of the stitches that weren't a complete line, I went back and added in the rub-on piece so that it looked like a complete stitch from wherever it started until it goes behind the photo. And then the little monsters, I was like, oh wait, they're going to be a little bit too thick if I put them right on top of the tickets. So luckily I used only ATG and not liquid glue to put the tickets down, and I was able to tuck them in behind the photo instead so that I could put the monster on top in the corner on each one. And then those little circles I added, they have more words. The orange one says, "This is the good life." And the green one that comes in the package also said, "This is the good life." So instead of using the green, I used the black one and it says memorable moment. And then the sweetest is what's on the purple circle. And then I added the heart that comes inside of the circle right next to the circle. And on the green one, I added the green heart. And then I put the black heart down at the bottom by favorite. So adding that little pop of black definitely helps all of the bright colors just pop. And as you can see on his shirt, the monster is outlined in black, and then his hair is black, dark. So it definitely helps the photos pop. So I'm going to hold it up here, and then I took lots of close-ups of it to show you a little bit more of the details that you probably can't see on camera, but definitely can see in the photographs. And I just love this layout. I think it's so much fun. And like I said, this is for acrylic stash bashing, which is great because I've had these monsters for quite a while and I'm glad to finally get them on a layout. And as you can see in the close-ups, you can see a little bit more details of the stamping in the background also. And I enjoyed creating this layout today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me create it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!